Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. It's time for Ask Steve and Larson. There's a lot going on in the world of professional wrestling these days. We got a bunch of great questions from the Friendos. If you want to have your questions submitted to Ask Going in Raw, you could do that by going to the Patreon, patreon.com/Steven Larson, or going to the youtube.com/Steven Larson, and hit that join button, and you too can have your question read here on Ask Going in Raw. Larson, what's the first question?
First question comes to us from Maritime Scott. Do you know anything about maritime law, Steve?
Man, I know anything goes. I know that you can...
I don't think that's the case.
Dump bodies and nobody will know any better.
I don't think that's the case at all.
Natalie Wood, right?
Anyways, let's get to Maritime... My goodness. Let's get to Maritime Scott's question. He says, Second Coming has some heavy religious undertones. Sounds way better. Sounds way better for a Miro comeback. Who should Miro feud with in his Second Coming? Go ahead and get your old man out of your system.
Oh, man. All right.
So thank you, Maritime Scott. Before we talk about Miro, I feel like we do have to talk about Punk.
Oh, yeah. It's huge.
Yeah, Punk is in the news. Put him on a thumbnail. It does numbers. We got to talk about Phil here first. Then we'll get to Miro. So 5 feuds for each and why. How about that?
Oh, no, I like that. Yeah, that's good. So let's start with Punk
Sure.
because he's, the big reason why everybody's talking about this stuff. So my first name for Punk is Malachi Black. Now, I saw once, number one, there's sort of a natural matchup, trios, with Malachi and the House of Black, Punk and FTR. But I really want to see Malachi become a solo guy. Yeah. House of Black is great. I'd love to see Brody become a solo guy. I love Buddy, but those are two guys I think really need solo runs. I remember ages ago when Aleister Black, when Tommy End had first been signed by WWE. I remember seeing an article. It was like, I don't know, it was either Deadspin, so it was probably Bixen Span, or maybe it was Sports Illustrated, something like that. Mm-hmm. And they said WWE has found their replacement for CM Punk. And, there are some similarities between the two. I could see, beyond just the superficial, the tattoos and stuff. But they're also very different characters as well. And that's always sort of stuck with me as Aleister Black being sort of the guy who could have, and I firmly believe he could have been huge in WWE, but that whole class of NXT just got the short shrift. But I think given the amount of respect that Malachi Black has for the storytelling nature of pro wrestling, and CM Punk being a very creative person himself, I think the two of those guys could really come up with some fascinating stuff, with some really good stuff. And I'd love to see that match. I think it'd be really, really good. And talking about elevating Malachi Black up to that level, having him beat CM Punk in 2 out of 3 matches, I think would probably be, or even just, 2 matches straight. And then, the feud's done with. Yeah. I think that could be really, really good stuff.
Agreed. While we're talking Malachi, I'll say one of my picks for Punk feuds. Not just Malachi, the entirety of the House of Black. You could do it as a trios thing with CM Punk and FTR, or you can just get Punk into a feud with Brody or Buddy or Malachi and get swept up into the whole House of Black thing.
Mm-hmm. Brody's a big fan of CM Punk too. He's always
they got ice cream together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, in terms of being cool with Punk, that's we don't have to worry about that.
There you go.
No heat there, no issues.
No heat.
So you think they would be able to work together? But everything you said about Malachi is spot on. He's got presence. He's got an aura about him. And putting Punk amongst that aura could be interesting from a storytelling perspective. But you got to remember, as Julia Hart's theme says, the house always wins.
Right. So be it Brody or Malachi, they would come out on the winning end of that feud.
Exactly.
My next on my list, I've got current Ring of Honor champion Claudio. Now, you and I have talked about how we feel Claudio's actually emerged within AEW Ring of Honor from WWE as a persona with much more of a presence. Seems like he fits in with what they do a lot better. And oftentimes he doesn't even have to say anything. He just seems to fit. And in WWE, it was as if we all got the idea that Vince didn't really know what to do with him. And in AEW, it's pretty simple. Just let Claudio be Claudio.
Yeah.
Obviously, CM Punk has a long history in Ring of Honor. I wouldn't be opposed to CM Punk winning the Ring of Honor championship. I mean, they ran with Jericho as Ring of Honor champion for a spell, the Ocho. And I thought that it worked. It didn't seem weird that, their title that's sort of down here was on a top guy. A lot of history in that Ring of Honor championship. And I think that the matches would be really good with Claudio being a bad guy. If Punk is a good guy, I think that matchup works as well. You can get Jericho, the Blackpool Combat Club involved if maybe Mox isn't there. And I get the feeling that Claudio
caveat.
Yeah. Claudio is probably, here's the thing though. If AEW doesn't want it to feel like it's a brand split, then adding feuds within the same faction, but with different members on both shows might make it feel like less of a brand split. If Claudio's dealing with CM Punk over here on Collision and Mox is dealing with whoever over here on Dynamite, it could feel like it is still one big universe. And the matches would be good. And we'd get to see Claudio's mean streak in there against CM Punk. I think that'd be a really fun feud.
Yeah, it could be. Next on my list, I got Ricky Starks. Every time it feels like they're really pushing Ricky to be a main eventer, they put him in a feud with Juice Robinson. I know that's kind of a segue to get to a feud with Jay White, but Jay White's brand new to AEW. I don't see him losing his first real feud. Anyways, getting Ricky in a feud with Phil, where Ricky wins 2 out of 3 matches.
Right. Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
To really help Ricky get over as a main event guy. Imagine Ricky Starks doing some of the short films he does.
Oh yeah.
The style of Kubrick, whoever his influences are at the time, talking trash about Phil in the most poetic, cinematic way possible, I think would be incredible. And just the promo off between Ricky and CM Punk would be really, really good stuff.
Have you seen the trailer for the new Yorgos Lanthimos movie?
I saw part of it. I haven't had a chance to watch the whole thing yet.
It looks nuts.
Visually, it looks insane.
Like they give that guy a lot of money. Yeah, I know. It's kind of awesome. Anyways, the next name on my list is Swerve Strickland. I think, look, man, you and I both think the absolute world of Swerve.
Yep.
He's absolutely terrific.
Yep.
And he's got that just cool vibe that I feel like would work really well with CM Punk. It's hard to put a name on it or whatever, but the guy's got tons of charisma. They need to find a way to sort of up the danger element with Swerve. Him attacking Dustin Rhodes doesn't do. I hope after the Keith Lee thing is settled, they a little bit more like Jay White back in New Japan, how he just felt like a dangerous guy. I think that's what they want to do with Swerve, and I think that's probably what Swerve is aiming for. And I don't exactly know how to accomplish it, but you need a lot of violence. And honestly, it was just like the when they were gonna take the fingernails off Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was super cool.
Was
more
great.
of that kind of stuff. But he kidnaps CM Punk and he puts him, in a broom closet tied up, and I don't know what he'd do with that. But I think that those guys, again, Swerve obviously being a very creative person, Punk being a creative person, they could probably get together. And again, Swerve would win probably, I would think, 3 straight matches over CM Punk. And look, man, here's the thing. Punk is old. He needs to put some people over. All right.
Got that right.
He needs to put over the future. That's what this run should be, putting over the future of AEW.
Exactly.
Swerve would win 3-0. And people be like, oh wow, Swerve's important, as he should be.
Yes.
World title scene done.
Exactly. No, I agree with all that. Really, CM Punk should have like a 30% winning percentage his first year back.
Oh yeah, I mean that's like double what I thought it would be.
35.
But yeah,
I mean,
you want wins to look strong. Yeah,
exactly. He's got to win enough. I mean, he's a depth guy at this point.
Wow. He's a depth guy.
Next on my list, I got Chugs. I got Adam Cole, baby.
Oh yeah.
It seems like they're building up Chugs to be perhaps next champion, at the least top babyface, and especially if CM Punk comes back as asshole heel.
Oh yeah.
Imagine the promo offs between Chugs.
Oh, it'll be great.
And Punk, just going back and forth at each other. They could talk about who was the heart and soul of Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff.
Cole's
could be
like
really
the one guy who I would totally buy into it. Him coming back as a babyface, saying, I almost didn't get to come back here. You burned it all down and made that decision to burn it down. I cherish every moment we have here. You're
take
obvious.
it for granted.
You take it for granted.
Yep.
And I wouldn't mind that level of referencing what happened at All Out, that level of like, oh, we kind of know what happened backstage.
Yeah.
Coming from Adam Cole and where he's coming from, that comes off as legitimate, whereas I think many other people would come off as disingenuous.
Yeah, like if Jericho brought up in something along those lines, you're like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right, yeah.
Chugs, that'd be great.
Chugs, that'd be awesome. My next one is Jeff Jarrett.
Great.
Yeah, because, Dak's already there in a thing with Jarrett and his crew, so hopefully that doesn't end at Double or Nothing. It can't, because Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal are going to win those tag titles. I'm sure FTR will want them back. Yeah. I remember this past Wednesday on Dynamite, Dax calling Jeff Jarrett a carny asshole. Well, I think that all that, the brawl out situation, nothing says more carny asshole than that. So I think Jeff Jarrett would be on the firm ground here. I say 2-0 against Punk, because you got to be putting over that young talent.
Of course. Jeff Jarrett's got a bright future.
He really does.
He's a foundational piece of the company, a pillar, if you will.
Really one of the pillars.
Really one of the pillars, indeed. I'll go with, where did I leave off? Did I say Jay White yet? No, Jay White.
No, not yet.
Jay White, I think, would be great feuding with CM Punk. If they Punk coming back and they happen to lean into like, hey, he's kind of injury prone.
Oh wow!
And then having him feud with someone who can be as dangerous as Jay White.
Yeah. Where
Punk has to like tread carefully. Like he could try to shoot off at the mouth of Jay White, and Jay White's be like, "Oh, you want to do that? Bang! I'm gonna hurt you."
Yeah.
And then Punk's like, "I'm old.
Yeah.
I should be here putting people over."
Right.
And Jay White's like, "You're right. I'm gonna beat you."
Yeah.
And then he beats him 5-0. Yeah.
5-0. 5 matches. Yeah. To none. Yeah.
To none. Yeah. Yeah. Including like, I don't know, like a 2-minute squash type deal.
Yeah. That's how you start things off. And that's how you end it also. It's like you think that you're going to have like a big, huge like blow off match, just 2-minute squash. The bookend 2-minute squash.
The bookend squash. I mean, Phil gets some of the stuff in between, but yeah.
Right.
Blade Runner 1, 2, 3.
Well, you know what? I think in that case, Phil can get like one win in if they do the thing where Jay White just beats the crap out of him so much that they DQ it and CM Punk gets the win there.
There you go. The first one, 2 minutes.
You guys, listen, I'm just telling you, if you're writing furious comments right now, it's all fun and games.
This is all fun and games.
It's all jokes. Speaking of which, my last name here is Kenny Omega. These dudes need to sack up. And if it's Kenny who needs to apologize, or Phil who needs to apologize, or Matt, Nick, or whoever needs to apologize, everybody apologize, and let's get the Elite versus Punk. Let's get that on our TVs. Come on now. It'd be silly if you don't do that. It's wrestling. People have tried to kill each other and still have had matches together. Yeah. So
true.
Get it done. And honestly, that's a match I'd love to see. CM Punk versus Kenny Omega. That's a match I want to see, man.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really good.
Last time I got my list for CM Punk's MJF.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of history there they can refer to from their previous feud. The previous feud was great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think CM Punk should be AEW champion ever again.
Right.
Or at least not within the first couple of years, until he proves that he can actually last more than 6 months without hurting himself.
Right, yeah.
Sorry, getting hurt.
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, getting hurt. Because the two previous times he's won the title, guess what happened like right afterwards or during the match?
He got busted up.
He's gotten hurt. So if CM Punk can change the style up a little bit, so it helps him stay free of injury.
Yeah, right.
As the story is right, people are into it. Maybe, I don't know, but I feel like that's way down the line. There's a lot that has to be done to kind of repair CM Punk's image. I feel like even more so in the injury thing, repair his image within AEW. If you even think about putting the title on him, you have him bash the company at Brawl Out, and then a year later you have him put the title back on him.
Water under the bridge. Come on, man. Those Warner executives, they're gonna put that title right back on him, man.
Well, they're not booking the show anyways. A feud between MJF and CM Punk would be, the first feud was great. It's a lot they can refer to still. Fantastic feud. Let's do it again.
Absolutely.
MJF
Let me ask you this.
What?
So I know your personal feelings, but business, right?
Yeah.
I do think that Punk needs to get to a point where he's putting some people over.
Absolutely.
That's not going to happen immediately. Now, he did this with MJF. He got 2 wins in Chicago. Did he lose to anybody else besides MJF?
Who's CM Punk?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Legitimately, out of all the people we named, who are people that you think Tony Khan would have CM? Because he's not going to lose a lot. Who do you think? Like, I think names, Adam Cole, for example. Your example of Adam Cole.
Adam Cole and MJF. Those are the 2 names I feel like nearly 100% confident that Tony Khan would go to CM Punk. Like, you got to do the job for these guys.
I think you're right. I think the only other name on here, I think the only other name on here that I'd be like, man, you have to let this guy win, and that's Swerve.
Yep.
I think you need to start building that guy as like your foundation for the future, because I think the world of him, and I think that would be huge. And if you're CM Punk, of course you do that, you know?
Yeah. You'd hope so. I mean, there's something there with Swerve that could be really something.
Yeah.
You see it when he's given an opportunity to be on TV. You see it, and it'd be great for them to actually push him, and to see where it can go. For sure.
I'd still like to see. I don't know if the dude has any ambitions towards like traveling or whatever, but I think Swerve in New Japan could have been absolutely amazing. That could have been really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Now let's get back to the question at hand.
Miro.
All right, my first name for Miro, and I don't know why this guy over Malachi, but Brody King.
Yeah.
I could just see, because Brody has like almost, I don't know, he's got even more of like a supernatural thing, or like a spirituality thing going for him, I think, even than Malachi. Like, you see him with that awesome face paint. He just looks so legit. And the idea of him and Miro, big beefy dudes, you know, like Brody's so huge.
Yeah.
That's some shit that I'd love to see.
Yeah. No, it's got to be House of Black. It's got to be the entirety of the faction, because that was Miro's beef, the pagans.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Before he left, he had the beef with the pagans. And Malachi misted him, and really haven't done anything since then with it, really. Yep. So, yes, he has to continue his feud with House of Black. We need some satisfying resolution to that.
Next name on my list is Rock Hard Juice Robinson. Of course, Miro. You know,
W for Miro.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Miro talked a lot about pleasing his wife. That being sort of the reward for, like, you know, winning a title under the eyes of God or something like that. I don't know.
Yes.
And Rock Hard, he's all about, you know, sexually pleasing people as well. That's his name is Rock Hard, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So yeah, they can, you know, first they could be friends and swap stories on how to please people.
Wow.
And then they could be enemies, because Rock Hard's like, hey, sweet boy, you want a threesome? And he's like, you don't touch my wife, Betty. And then he attacks him.
Well, and Juice is married to Tony Storm.
Oh, is that? Yeah, I know. But is that like in kayfabe also?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
I don't think that's kayfabe. But if they bring that in there, he's like, hey, buddy, no swapping. He's like, come on, sweet boy. Yeah, it could be a whole thing. I just said all that shit to make you laugh. What do you got next?
Oh, my goodness. Next, I got Darby Allin, because in the trios match they had at, All In last year, that Miro was in against House of Black, it was Darby. They got the pinfall win, not Miro. Miro's pissed about that, so he takes it out on Darby Allin, just throws them all over the ring.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's good. And that still my top AEW moment ever is when Sting looked at Darby and said,
it's not
win
your
some,
day.
you lose some. Win some, you lose some, kid.
Exactly.
I also have Keith Lee on here because Keith Lee's awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't really need more of a reason than that. I want to see Keith Lee and Miro because I love them both, and I want to see him fight.
Yeah. Next on my list, Wardlow. Miro beats him, gets his TNT title back.
Oh, easy. Next up, Jay White. I don't even know why, because I really like I just really like Jay White. I think he's special.
Mm-hmm. Next, I got Christian and Luchasaurus. And this Miro views Luchasaurus as someone who needs to be redeemed.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like a false idol.
He's fallen under the influence of Christian. It says that's not who you're supposed to be.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
You're a friendly dinosaur, not a menacing one.
That's good, yeah.
You're going to be redeemed, buddy.
That's good. Hey, buddy. And then last name on my list, of course, MJF, because I want Miro to win the title. He should win the title.
That's great. Last on my list, I got Hangman Page. Hangman's character is all about anxiety, angst. And then Miro could be like, hey, maybe you need something a little more spiritual. Maybe you need to be redeemed.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
To ease that angst, to ease that anxiety. Yeah. And to achieve that, I have to defeat you first.
Yeah, I got some literature. I want you to read it. And Hangman's like, no. He's like, how about this? I beat you, and then you read literature. And then he puts like a pamphlet. He's got Hangman beat. He puts a pamphlet on the ground, on the mat. And then he picks him up, puts him in the game over, the accolade, whatever he calls it. And so Hangman's just looking down at the literature. He's like, read that. Read that.
It's like that GIF I found of Finn Balor reading the newspaper while sitting on somebody's back.
Yes, exactly.
Except, yes, the literature is in front of Hangman, yes.
Exactly. Oh, those are all great answers.
Fantastic answers.
So anyways, CM Punk's got bills to pay. That's why he's back with AEW. We got bills to pay. Larson, why don't you go ahead and kick us off?
All right, let's do it. Let's take a quick break here and get a word from our sponsor, HelloFresh. Steve, if I'm right, it's spring outside. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And during the spring, flowers, they bloom, but they're not the only thing bloom in the spring because flavor is in full bloom.
Man.
HelloFresh.
Absolutely. HelloFresh makes mealtime easy with recipe options that'll make everybody at your table happy. From veggie to pescatarian to fit and wholesome, HelloFresh has meal options that suit your lifestyle.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to shoot with you, Steve.
Oh, yeah. Shoot hard.
I will. I'm more or less complete amateur in the kitchen. I don't know what I'm doing.
Wow.
Sometimes I put water in my cereal.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, it's not uncommon for me to add too much or too little of an ingredient or forget to put something in the recipe altogether. But HelloFresh comes with foolproof recipes that arrive with pre-portioned ingredients that are quick and easy to prepare in just a few steps. So it's easy for someone like me, just a complete amateur in the kitchen, to cook like a pro and get a delicious meal on the table to feed my hungry family fast. We're all huge fans of that beef bulgogi stir-fry recipe. Massive hit here in the Larson house. With HelloFresh, I don't have to spend a bunch of time making endless trips to the grocery store getting ingredients since everything is delivered right out there to my front door.
That's right, man. And HelloFresh does more than dinner. Along with 40 weekly recipe options, you can also choose from more than 100 items to add to your order, including snacks, easy lunches, and desserts. And it all shows up at your door in one box on a delivery date that you select.
Right now, Friendos can try America's #1 meal kit by going to HelloFresh.com/GIR16 and use code GIR16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. Again, that's HelloFresh.com/GIR16 and use code GIR16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. Got our next question here from Zach DeHack. Zach asks, what's been the pay-per-view or PLE of the year so far? And are there any that have gotten better in retrospect? PLE doesn't roll off the tongue as well as pay-per-view. It just doesn't.
No, it's not great. So I mean, we can review the PLEs for the year. Of course, we had Royal Rumble. We've had Revolution 2023.
Pretty good.
We had Elimination Chamber, which was actually really good. Of course, WrestleMania.
Mania Night 1 was really good.
Mania Night 1 was really good. And then, of course, we had Backlash.
That was a really good, really fun show.
Obviously, the answer is Triple Mania Night 1.
Yes.
However, if we're talking about, like AEW/WWE, because I also heard that like that last Stardom pay-per-view was like really good, but I didn't watch it. So, I mean, the name of the podcast technically here on YouTube is WWE and AEW Podcast. Out of all those, I would probably go with Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
Because it had Asuka winning the Chamber. It had the great build and the great debate over Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. People thinking Sami should have won that. It was a phenomenal match. It was a really good match. Of course, the end of the Royal Rumble as well was pretty good, but there were some clunkers on the actual Rumble card. You had the wonky Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar match. That's sort of whatever. Was Edge and Beth versus the Judgment Day? Was good, correct. Right?
Yep, that was fun.
That was good. And then, of course, you had the men's chamber with Theory winning that, which had some really. It had Montez Ford sort of in a preview of his solo career.
Yep.
So I don't know. Maybe the chamber. Maybe I like the Rumble this year too, though.
Yeah, Rumble was fun. Backlash was a really fun show as well.
Backlash was awesome. The crowds, they have really. I mean, they have really after. And being in existence for 70 years or whatever, 40 years in the mainstream, they finally realized, hey, we need to take advantage of like the wrestlers we have, where they come from, and putting them in prominent spots.
Yep.
And this year they've really cracked that.
They have. I'm going to go with Revolution because MJF versus Danielson in the Iron Man match was spectacular. They went over an hour and kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time.
Yeah.
And then Hangman versus Mox, that Texas death match.
Really good, yeah.
Brutal. Again, riveting stuff. Great storytelling. The Trios match was a lot of fun as well between House of Black and the Elite. Even the final burial bout between Jungle Boy and Christian. At moments goofy. But from a performance aspect, it was really, really good.
Yeah.
Some of the best wrestling of the year happened on Revolution. I would have liked to see the Acclaim beat the Guns for the tag titles. One change I would have made.
Yeah, that, and then didn't like Wardlow beat Samoa Joe on that one?
In like 10 minutes.
But
yeah,
come on, those two matches. You're right. There's a lot of phenomenal wrestling on that card. I think also like just from a personal standpoint, that was the card that I had to dip out after like the first match because I had some like crazy family stuff going on. Yeah, and so like I watched that like later in a much different state of mind. So it didn't really have like the positive vibes that I like with my premium live events.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been a decent year for pay-per-views and premium.
It has been. Yeah, since Triple H has taken over creative, the B-level pay-per-views, if you will, in WWE have been by and large way more enjoyable than they were under while Vince was under control of creative. So
that is definitely true.
If nothing else, Triple H has accomplished that. So
absolutely. Speaking of absolutely, Absolute 76 has the next question. Says, what pay-per-view event are you excited about coming up this year? Without knowing the matchups for the card, what show will will probably be a banger? So let's review what's coming up. Of course, at the end of this month, Double or Nothing and Morning of Champions, NXT Battlegrounds, but whatever.
Yeah.
In June, we've got Money in the Bank in London, which is going to be phenomenal. Huge, and then also, so in July, there's nothing.
Well, July 1st, it's Money in the Bank.
Oh, July. Okay, I'm sorry. July 1st is Money in the Bank. June, there's nothing.
There's Forbidden Door in June.
Oh, that's the one that's in June. Okay.
And then
early WWE August has nothing in June. Yeah.
No. Early August is SummerSlam, and then the end of August is All In at Wembley. A week later is All Out.
Yeah.
And of course, later this year, you got Survivor Series. You got Full Gear.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I hope they do another Clash of the Castle as well.
Yes, I hope so. Although with Money in the Bank being in London, who knows if they will or not.
Yeah.
I guess of the shows that have been announced, I'm excited to watch All In because the crowd's going to be insane.
Yeah.
It's going to be it's going to be so energetic, but I hope they don't go too long with the show because, I mean, as we saw with Backlash in Puerto Rico, San Juan is not a market that doesn't get pay-per-views and probably maybe a house show a year.
Right. Yeah.
How when you go to a market that's underserved like that and put on a huge event, the energy of the crowd is awesome and it elevates the whole show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was fantastic. But that was a 3-hour pay-per-view. Now, if Tony Khan says, I'm going to put on a 5-hour show in London, and especially if there's a lot of exciting, thrilling stuff, the energy level, maintaining that's going to be difficult. It just is.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And that's the only concern. I'm sure he's going to go all out putting the card together and stuff. Although with all out being the following week, kind of have to wonder, is there stuff that's going to be saved for that versus all in? Otherwise, Money in the Bank's always a fun show. There's always the intrigue of who's going to walk away with those briefcases, if a cash-in is going to happen that night.
Yeah.
So those are probably the two that we know for sure that I'm looking forward to the most, along with Triple Mania, of course.
Yeah, of course, the 2 remaining Triple Manias are going to be phenomenal. I got to say Money in the Bank. You know me. I grew up in England for a span of time, so I have close nostalgia factor with it. I went back twice since then for my honeymoon, and then again for my sister's wedding. And it's just I love it. And them being there, hot European crowd, the possibility of cash-ins. Money in the Bank is already one of my favorite pay-per-views because of that, and the energy that they've been bringing to their pay-per-views lately, coupled with the concept of Money in the Bank, I'm really looking forward to that one. I think that's gonna be the thing. I really do. Plus, Gunther will probably defend his Intercontinental Championship there against somebody awesome, and it's going to be a great match.
Yep, you got that right. Maxter of Puppets has a question. Says, in the spirit of the Enforcer, what title would you be? This is 5 years since Enforcer asked this question. So Maxter asks, new World Heavyweight Championship, WWE Championship, or Universal Championship? I'm curious to hear your answer. I'm going to let you go first, because last time you said the WWE Championship. I'm curious if that answer still applies.
Yeah, I looked back on that, and I'll be honest with you, your answer sort of blew mine away. I was sort of, just sort of grasping for straws there. So right now, of course, there is no World Heavyweight Championship. We suspect it's going to go on Seth Rollins, although Edge did say something kind of interesting about that. Yeah. He wants to win it, and then if somebody takes it off him, he retires, which is a really cool concept.
So it'd be a good story.
Yeah, it'd be a great story. WWE Championship and Universal Championship right now are on Roman Reigns. You don't really have to work that much. You don't have to go out there that much. It's the Roman Reigns setup. I don't know if you saw, he did an interview with, I don't even know who it was, but I just saw a brief clip of it, and he was saying, "No, this is the Tribal Chief setup. Nobody has this setup. Nobody's got this kind of money. Seth Rollins, he'd love to have my dates. He'd love to have this money. It's not for him. It's for me." It was funny. It was hilarious. And so, especially in kayfabe, you're riding high. All that mahi-mahi on the bus.
Yeah.
You're right
on the
there
private
with
jet.
It. On the private jet. You're right there with it. However, a lot of tension.
That's correct.
So much awkwardness. You know me, and I know you're doubly so. I don't like being in awkward situations.
I don't.
So I'm not going to be the undisputed unified champion, Larson, or championships, man. Not going to do that. So I'm the new. Look, I'm new. You know me. I like to be new. You know me also. I like to do new things just to do new things. Whether it's changing the graphics here on the show or what have you. So it's like, yeah, sure, have a new belt. I want that. That's going to be me. It's going to be Seth Rollins. When I'm in Seth Rollins' house, seems like a lovely house. They got a little kid running around now. Becky Lynch seems like a lovely person. Or I go to Edge's house. Either way, fun married couples having a good time with their kids. Being don't go there. Suburbanites, PTA meetings and stuff.
Yeah. Of course, I got you.
I want to be the new championship.
All right, I'm gonna put some of that here for you, because I agree with the tension involved in being either the WWE Championship or Universal Champion. And it's a lot. It's probably a pretty plush deal most of the time because you're just at Roman's house.
You're just chilling. Yeah,
you're just chilling at Roman's house. Apparently, he's got a really good deal.
Yeah, he's got a good setup.
If it's set up, if there's steak and mahi and all that stuff, that sounds like a pretty good deal. I understand the tension aspect of it, but think about this. You're on one shoulder as the WWE title. I'm on the other shoulder as Universal Championship.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, okay.
We can just be there and crack wise the whole time about what the tension and the haplessness that goes on within the bloodline. And that could be wildly fun.
Be like, Roman is look at him pacing because Jay's not answering his phone. He looks like an asshole.
Jay's gonna be in massive trouble.
Yeah.
No mahi for Jay or Jimmy today.
No, he does. Maybe I'll get some of that.
No sushi on the plane.
Unfortunately, they don't feed us because we're titles.
That's true, but mahi sounds really good. So that's my idea.
Oh, wait. Shit, Paul Heyman's coming. He's going to take me into the bathroom again. He likes me being around when he's pooping. It's disgusting.
Oof.
Yeah, that'd be nasty.
Yeah.
Plot twist there.
That's a massive one. Next question here from
Reaper Red V3.
V3 says, I have a challenge for you guys. Book a Dom face turn. However, he has to stay at Judgment Day, who are all staying heel.
He has to stay in. Well, I mean, Rhea Ripley did it. Sometimes you just look. Here's the thing. This is easy.
Yeah.
Just give it time.
Yep.
Because you and I both know damn well when somebody's doing such good work, the crowd eventually turns for them and they don't have a choice but to become face.
Exactly.
So you just got to give it time. And I don't know what that entails necessarily. Judgment Day. I mean, if they're all going to be bad guys. Oh, here we go. How about this? We get to Survivor Series and the match ends up being elimination, Judgment Day versus Imperium.
Mm-hmm.
And because elimination, Priest and Balor end up getting eliminated. But along the way, Imperium is just becoming, they're real bastards.
Yeah.
And Judgment Day's bastards too. But Dom is trying to dial them back a little bit. And I don't know why you tell a story about him. I don't know. But he's trying to dial them back a little bit. So Imperium are really the bad guys, but Judgment Day is there too. And that Judgment Day going too far ends up costing them eliminations. So they're out and you're left with Dom, who everybody knows has good intentions. And he's got to face Imperium. And they just hold him. They just chopping the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I don't know. People might root for that. I don't know.
Maybe.
I got nothing.
Maybe.
But just give it time. People love
I
Dom.
think if you do that also with the Bloodline, if you got Roman.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
And Solo and the
Yeah.
Usos. And so it's you know, you got the top faction, although they're completely dysfunctional at this juncture.
Yeah.
And all of that would be going against, and Dom has to face, you know, Roman and his 2 titles in an elimination bout. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a tough one because, yeah, that'd be awesome. It's a tough one because I'd love to see Dom give Roman a 2-for-1 special.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop-ah, and then leaves.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. That's sort of a tough one for them to remain faces and then going up against another faction, which are also them to remain heels going up against a face faction.
Well,
yeah,
that would be the difficult part. I mean, if Judgment Day remained heel-ish, and go against the faction that is full on heels, I mean,
then it's easy. Yeah,
there's tiers to being a heel, you know.
Yeah.
But if it's a situation where they got a feud with, I don't know, like The Way, and it's like, you know, they're all baby faces.
Yeah, that's tough. That's really
tougher.
tough.
That's tougher. Jesus Medina here asks, who do you think they're going to put up with the NXT call-ups against first? So who do you think Grayson Waller will feud with first?
Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, it's going to be Dolph, isn't it?
Probably, which sucks. Like, don't do that.
I know.
You know what I'd love to see? Wait, he's on Raw. Is he on? No, he's on SmackDown.
Who, Grayson? Yeah.
Yeah, he's on SmackDown. Boogs.
Oh, yeah, that'd be interesting.
That's a weird clash of personalities there.
Really
Grayson Waller comes in acting like he owns a place where Boogs still can't find his way to like catering.
Yeah.
He's like,
you know what I see
there.
Boogs feud with? Boogs and Elias against Pretty Deadly.
Oh, that's good. I like that. That's good. I think Boogs and Elias got separated, didn't they?
Elias is a free agent and Boogs is on SmackDown.
Oh, Elias is a free agent?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So Alba Fire and Isla Dawn got drafted to SmackDown. Are there any women's tag teams left on SmackDown?
Damage Control.
Yes. Although they might not be a faction for much longer.
And no, Sonya and Chelsea got drafted to Raw, didn't they?
Yeah. Same with Ronda and Shayna.
Shayna, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Who'd you say still? Yeah, Damage. Yeah, they'll draft. They'll fight with some Damage Control.
They'll be the ones that actually break up Damage Control.
Yeah, there you go.
What about? We already know who Cameron Grimes is feuding with first. Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin. We got that.
Makes
one
sense.
Now. Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense. I mean, I don't know if any of the NXT call-ups are going to be in line for like really high-profile feuds to begin. I think they're going to just kind of
like I don't know what Odyssey Jones is going to do. I don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah, I don't know. Jared Ellis here asks, what Taco Bell menu items do you associate with each WWE main roster title?
Oh wow. Okay.
So we'll start with the legacy title, the WWE Championship.
Mm-hmm.
What is the legacy menu item from Taco Bell? The foundation of Taco Bell, if you will. Is it a crunchy taco?
I think it's just a simple crunchy taco.
I think it's a simple crunchy taco.
When I was a kid, that's the only thing I ever had from Taco Bell. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we agree. All right, Universal title, the newer belt, the one they're really pushing as to be like
the Gordita Crunch one.
Oh, okay.
They're like a cheesy Gordita Crunch. Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah.
That's like new.
Yeah,
they push it, or it's new-ish. They push it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have the new belt. So I guess whatever is on the new menu items.
Yeah, like what is brand new at Taco Bell?
Something called Yellowbird Nacho Fries.
Okay.
There we go. World Heavyweight Championship.
There you go.
And then you got the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships.
7-layer burrito for one of them. And the other one, just because like Lacey gets that sometimes.
Yeah.
And then the other one, like a bean and cheese burrito with extra cheese, extra red sauce, because Lacey gets that a lot too.
There we go. Okay. Tag titles. Is there like is there
so like what's like a combo that goes?
Yeah, there you go. Combos. I was looking for that. Steak grilled cheese burrito combo. That and a taco.
I feel like it needed to be more like on par with each other.
Agreed.
Like
so I'm trying to find something that has two of the same things.
How about what about this? A cheese quesadilla and a chicken quesadilla.
There you go.
I love those. Those are good too. They have good sauce. Yeah.
That's good.
And then the Intercontinental Championship clearly is the Mexican pizza. It's it's right now Gunther's like my favorite guy, so that championship is like my favorite title. It's reliable. It went away for a while, like the Intercontinental Championship lost its prestige for a while, but then it came back strong.
It did, yeah. What about the Crunch Wrap Supreme? What's the Crunch Wrap Supreme, Steve? That's the U.S. title?
Oh, that's the U.S. title, classic, but has a new shine to it.
Yeah, there you go.
I guess. This is bullshitting my way through an interview right now.
Hey, man, you're doing great.
Yeah.
Is that Mr. Elcon baby? Says, first of all, my condolences, RIP Enforcer. A few weeks ago, you guys talked about your top directors. Which director would you pick for each of WWE's main 4 shows?
Oh, he goes wrong here. He says Michael Bay for the Royal Rumble. Could you imagine Michael Bay? Look, you want to put Michael Bay in charge of if you want Michael Bay, and I would not put him in charge of anything.
No.
He couldn't run a Target.
No.
But if you did, you would want a Backlash-esque pay-per-view because he does film scenery very nicely.
He does.
He does have very nice looking visuals, and I feel like he might get a good, some good cinematography on, the scenes from Backlash. So
let's start with the Rumble. That's the first of the year.
Lots of intrigue, lots of moving pieces, big ensemble, PTA.
Who can do? Okay, I was thinking because the Rumbles, they're heavy on action. So I feel like you need a good action director.
Well,
I'm going to go with Catherine Bigelow.
Okay, all right, that's cool. See, I was thinking of the ensemble nature of it.
No,
like,
I get that too.
Obviously PTA's whatever that Magnolia.
Yeah.
He had that one.
Yeah.
Okay. WrestleMania, huge franchise show. Makes it
it's the epic. You need somebody does epics really well.
I mean, this is a boring answer, but Spielberg.
Yeah, I could do Spielberg.
It's the most popcorn level pay-per-view there is. It's the mainstream one.
That's true. That is true. Spielberg's a good answer. SummerSlam, kind of like it's your summer tentpole.
Yeah, sure, yeah. But you want somebody who really knows what they're doing with a big summer tentpole movie. I'm going to say SummerSlam. Go ahead.
James Gunn.
I was gonna say James Gunn too. Survivor Series. Oh man, Survivor Series. It's about the tension and the drama, but it's still one of the big four. I say you go with Rian Johnson. He capably had The Last Jedi from the start. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but he's proven time and time again that guy knows how to direct a movie.
That's true. However, I do feel like if they're sticking with the War Games deal for that, we need someone who can embrace the violence.
Oh, man.
Someone who does more action-focused motion pictures.
Who does good violence these days?
Yeah, I don't know if he really does it so much anymore, but about Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, good name. Good name. I like that. Okay, that's good. I like it. That's all good stuff.
I think we got a couple extra ones here. We can kind of lightning around a little bit.
Cool.
Blake Whitehouse asked, if you could eat one soup for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
I mean, dude, here's the thing. Soup doesn't really do a good job filling me up, so I need something like kind of hearty, like
Let me ask you something.
like a potato soup.
Let me ask you
potato
something.
soup. Yeah.
Would you consider, for the sake of this question, chili soup?
Oh, dude, yeah, it'd be that all day then.
Yeah,
if that's the situation, yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I kind of don't. It's its own thing, but for the sake of this question, yeah, do I get cornbread with it?
Yeah, sure, chili.
I love cornbread.
Oh yeah, cornbread's the best, absolute best. That's Patrick Kennedy. It's not really a question, but we can end on this one. Patrick says, if my math is right, I believe that the Enforcer began the streams with you guys at the same time as the Bloodline story was kicking off, so that would make the Bloodline era actually the Enforcer era, and I think that's pretty cool. Love you, Enforcer. Yep.
I think that is pretty cool.
His first stream with us at SummerSlam 2020, and that was when Roman came back.
That's when Roman came back. That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was it's been the best era with the Enforcer.
It absolutely really has been. Absolutely has been.
Yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for all your questions. If you want to submit your question, patreon.com/Stephen Larson or click join on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.